the Blue Mau Mau Archway on Poor Knights Island, just a couple hours sail from Tutukaka. So we sailed out there, and here's all the Blue Mau Mau in the archway resting. And you could see swim through the archway, snorkel through it. It was a great deal of fun. And then, after the archway was swum through, we were out to the other side and looking at the various fish on there. And one of them became quite territorial. Look at him. He's quite angry, and then he shows me his poison spines. When I came upon this group of porae resting on the surface of the seafloor, and they didn't really care for having me around. I could tell that, but they're in a marine reserve, and I didn't show them the hook or the spear, so I thought in the final analysis it wouldn't be too much to trouble them to come up and take their picture, even though they didn't care for it. And besides which, they did a study and found out that fish have a long-term memory of 5 seconds. So 5 seconds after I disturbed them, they would have been all settled down in a new spot. So, here you go. They're called Poraea, and they feed on small crabs, and they have large fleshy lips, which they use to suck the limpets off the rocks. Limpets are pretty tasty, I guess. And with large, soft, fleshy lips, you can actually catch them if you so desire. In the end, I left them to peace. I don't know if the tribe all reconvened on that piece of sand. They can spend years living on the same piece of sand. And then into the archway, and another shot of the vast school of Blue Mau Mau. It's called a school of Blue Mau Mau. Not a flock, but a school. You only get a flock of fish when they're flying fish. And the Blue Mau Mau can enter into a feeding frenzy on tiny pink shrimp. So I was a bit nervous about getting close to them because of the feeding frenzy behavior, but I don't really look like a tiny pink shrimp anymore, so I thought I would take the chance. But you can well imagine if you had thousands of these little biters all swarming around you in a feeding frenzy, you wouldn't feel very good about it, even if you didn't look like a tiny pink shrimp. And that's the light at the end of the tunnel up there, the end of the archway tunnel. Hey Andrea, how you doing? That's in the archway. The little blue mau like to rest in the archway because they're sheltered. And here's the kingfish. It's a type of tuna. Not yellowfin tuna, but it is a type of tuna. Predatory. Good to eat, hard to catch.